exposure to these chemical weapons during the war. And this meant that many countries were determined that these things should not be used.
Many came home with dreadful injuries. As a child in the 1960s, I remember an elderly neighbor, a First World War veteran who had survived an attack. His wheezing and the story of poison gas were the stuff of nightmares. These lingering, debilitating effects focused public opposition to chemical weapons. But at the Washington Disarmament Conference in 1921, states grappled with a perennial chemical conundrum.
The diplomats at that meeting bumped into the obstacle of what today we call dual-use technology. In other words, the toxic chemicals that had been used on the battlefield, most of them had been synthesized for the first time over 100 years earlier. So we're dealing with technologies that all of a sudden found new use during the First World War. So people at the disarmament conference said, how can they control toxic substances that were key to industrial production and development?
And so the conference made one of those classic diplomatic compromises. Chemical weapons were to be banned, but only in warfare.
It was this combined legacy which led countries to sit down and hammer out a treaty called the Geneva Protocol, and this was agreed in 1925. And this protocol outlawed the use of both biological and chemical weapons, but significantly it prohibited first use.
So that's kind of the crucial part, that you mustn't start, but could one respond?
Indeed, one could, and this was why many countries continued to have stocks of chemical weapons. Their argument was, of course, we'll never start using these things, but by Jove, if somebody uses them against us, we want to be in a position to respond, and to respond in kind. And so the countries built up stocks.
In the conference room, the nations still expressed their faith in peace. Outside, they kept their powder dry.
And so already in the interwar period, one has this sense of the deterrence going on in the chemical weapons arena.
Yes, and it continued right through and up to and through the Second World War.
Inventors and scientists, think, work and experiment. Give us new proposals and discoveries, and you will have done a great thing for Germany.
A chilling exhortation to scientists to do their bit for the fatherland. In